What if I told you that there's a game that lets you explore a vast open world, customize your character in endless ways, and engage in epic battles with other players and monsters? A game that has been constantly evolving and improving since its launch back in 2015, and that has recently introduced a new class, a new expansion on the horizon, and a new roadmap for 2024. A game that is called Black Desert Online. I've also played this game since launch back in 2016, so I've experienced the highs and the lows over the years. But hey there, welcome to my channel where I talk about all things gaming. And yes, I do game in my bed. But in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my honest opinion on the state of Black Desert Online in 2024 and whether it's worth playing or not. But I'll be covering the following topics while I'm also just kind of semi-grinding. The new Scholar class, the Land of the Morning Light Soul expansion and its new features, the 2024 roadmap and its key themes, the pros and cons of Black Desert Online as a MMORPG, and then just my personal verdict and recommendations. But let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing I want to talk about is the new class here, the Scholar class, which was released in December 2023, so just a few weeks ago for the PC. The Scholar class is the 27th class in Black Desert Online, which is kind of crazy. It's 27 classes, and that's not even including the succession variation. And all this time, I've played Warrior, Berserker, Wizard, Musa, Sage. Hold on, that's the male classes. Yeah, I'm that type of guy who can't really play a female class, so I'm a little bit disappointed with the new class. But the Scholar is unlike any other class in the game. It's a renowned alchemist and physicist who controls gravity, wields twin hammers, and a massive hammer. The Scholar has two sets of weapons, with the main hand being twin hammers, and then a massive hammer being her Ascension, which is a little bit different from the other classes in BDO that have a main hand and an awakening weapon. Scholar class is more similar to like the Archer, but the Scholar can switch between these two sets of weapons at any time, creating a pretty dynamic and versatile gameplay style. Um, the Scholar is very interesting and a fun class to play, especially if you like hammers. She has a lot of damage potential, and she's definitely not going to be broken. Um, Next here is the announcement of the Land of the Morning Light Soul expansion, which is the sequel to the Land of the Morning Light expansion that was released back in 2023. But this new expansion, they said, will feature more of a medieval soul where one can explore the culturally iconic real life places. Now, most people will say the story in the first expansion in the Land of Morning Light was terrible and people were spamming R, but I actually did enjoy it in my personal opinion. But either way, this new region seems pretty cool since this expansion will be introducing also a new class, which is a male class, finally, which looks like it will be wielding a sword and a smoke pipe, which is pretty interesting. And they'll also be bringing new boss fights to Black Desert Online as well, which they stated would be more guild based, which, unlike the original Black Shrine content, focused on a single player experience fighting a single boss. Now, just kind of briefly looking at the themes of the 2024 roadmap, you have character growth motivators, so content focusing on providing more incentives and rewards for players to grow and to progress their characters, such as new gear, which they did mention an upgraded version of the Pin Black Star, which is already the best in slot weapon for the game. Next year, you just quality of life improvements, which is they said they were going to be simplifying and streamlining some of the complex and confusing aspects of the game, such as the UI, the inventory, the enhancement system, and just the itemization. They're also giving every player a dream horse, which is kind of Pog, because it's one of the best horses in the game that allows you to travel to places faster, which will definitely help out the new player experience. Um, and they're also making teleportation to different regions of the game a little bit more mainstream now. Now that I've covered the main topics of BDO in 2024, I want to give you my overall opinion on the game. as a MMORPG and list some of the pros and the cons of the game. The first pro here is the game just has stunning graphics and visuals with realistic and an immersive world and just high level of detail and quality. It's just a very beautiful game. The second pro here, the game has a deep and extensive character customization with a lot of options and choices for appearance and skills and just the gear of the character, which is a little bit gated behind like the Pearl Shop, unfortunately. So you have to like pay money to actually look decent in this game. Um, the third pro here is the game just has a very fluid and dynamic combat, which I feel like this game is really known for, right? It's has a skill-based and action-oriented system, and just a lot of variety and diversity among the classes, which again I think is the king of MMORPGs, and what this game is really known for is the combat. The fourth pro here, the game just has a lot of content and features with a huge map to explore, a lot of activities to enjoy, such as quest, dungeons, PvP, such as open world, node wars, sieges, Arena of Solaire, which is a 3v3 MMR ranked based PvP game mode. And then you have crafting, trading, fishing, farming, and just much, much more. The fifth pro here, the game has just a large and active community with a lot of players and guilds to interact and cooperate with. And there's always events going on and updates to participate and look forward to. So now the cons. First one here is actually the opposite of the fourth pro, which is the content and its features, and that it honestly can deter people away from the game because it is so complex, right? This game has a steep learning curve and a high difficulty level with a lot of information and mechanics to just understand and master and a lot of challenges and obstacles to overcome. So if you feel like you get overwhelmed easy, then this might not be the best game for you. But I will say that the BDO developers are trying to make this game a little bit easier to get into. The second con, the game has a grindy and RNG based progression with a lot of time and effort required to level up, enhance, and acquire your desired gear, skills, and items. Uh, Now, I am a BDO grinding addict, and I have to at least grind 1 hour a day, but that's just kind of me. And I feel like a lot of people in the community, like they just really enjoy grinding. The third con, the game has pay to win and pay to convenience elements, with some of the items and services in the cash shop giving you an advantage or a benefit to the players who buy them, such as inventory slots, weight limits, pets, costumes, and a whole bunch of different other stuff. But I will say, in terms of just buying gear in the game, there is a limit, and it's very, very expensive, and honestly, just not worth it, right? So you have like the Pearl Shop, and you can buy costumes with real money, and then you can put it on the marketplace. And one costume, I think, is selling up to like 1.6 billion now, and it cost about $30 just to buy a single costume, right? And one of the in-game pieces of gear, for instance, right here, the Black Star, right? So pin Black Star, this right here cost around 100 and I think about 160 billion. And so if you average that up in terms of like selling the costumes to gain silver to buy that item, it's extremely expensive. I mean, I don't know the exact price, but you're talking about a couple $1,000s in order to get that piece, right? So very expensive, really not worth it in terms of how much power you gain, in my opinion. The fourth con here, the game just has some performance issues, such as just terrible desync at times. But hey, that does give you a reason to say why you might have lost in a 1v1 uh, or an arena match. But you know what I'm saying. Fifth con here, the game has some balance and design issues such as class imbalance, gear disparity, PvP imbalance, content disparity, which can affect the fairness and just the fun of the game. So after weighing like the pros and the cons of Black Desert Online, what is my final verdict and just recommendation? I I think that Black Desert Online is a great and unique MMORPG and just offers a lot of fun and enjoyment for the players who love this genre and this style of game. However, I also think that Black Desert Online is not a perfect or flawless game, right? And that it does have some flaws and drawbacks that can frustrate and discourage some players, especially those who are new or casual to the game. So my verdict is that BDO is definitely worth playing, right? But only if you're only willing to accept and deal with its challenges and limitations, and if you're looking for a long-term rewarding adventure. This game, when you get a gear upgrade, it stays with you for quite some time, right? And I've had a lot of these gear pieces sent, for a few years, right? And so like other games like World of Warcraft, when the new expansion comes out, your gear just becomes irrelevant. So that's the nice thing about BDO is when you actually make a huge upgrade, it stays with you for quite some time, if not forever, honestly. But again, it is pretty complex, and if you're looking um, for a casual or easy game, or if you're just easily annoyed or bored by the game's aspects, then BDO might not be the best game for you. But I would recommend just to give BDO a try and see for yourself if you like it or not. This game is sometimes free to play if there's an event going on, or sometimes you can get it for $10 on Steam. And for that price, you get a lot of content and features. You can also watch some videos or streams of the game just to get a better idea of the game. You can also join some communities or forums of the game and ask some questions or advice from other players in the community. But I'm kind of curious, what are your thoughts on playing BDO in 2024? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. But with that being said, thanks for watching. And if you like this content, then please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you next time.